Hey, what is up YouTube? So I've been wondering the last time I did the review on the Asus Zenbook Pro 15 and the Asus Zenbook 14, what would happen if Asus would decide to somehow merge these two together? Well, they did. And let's see how it turned out. So today we're taking a look at the Asus Zenbook Pro 14, model number UX480F. Now to me, it was interesting to see what was inside of it because the form factor is that of an Ultrabook, but the specs are actually that of a quite powerful laptop. As you can see right away, it has two screens. The screenpad mode, the extension display, traditional trackpad, and you can turn it off. The secondary screen numpad is a welcome upgrade from the one found on the Zenbook 14. It is much more responsive. The screen on this display is again very solid. It's a 14-inch Full HD IPS panel with a brightness of 330 nits, 99% sRGB and 72% Adobe RGB color gamut. The screen-to-body ratio is 86%. Unlike its siblings, this laptop's main display is a touch display, which I personally found something you get very used to in a short period of time. What concerns the port selection is the same as on the Asus Zenbook 14. Still lacking a full-size SD card and no USB-C Thunderbolt 3 port. As I said at the beginning, the laptop is pretty well spec'd. The test unit has an i7-8565U processor, 15 gigs of storage, 16 GB of DDR4 RAM, and a GeForce 1050 Max-Q graphics card. Overall, I would say that the heat management is well under control, thanks largely also to the Ergo Lift hinge. But the fan noise, well, listen for yourselves. Well, the best way to test the performance of this laptop would be to do the same tests I did on the original Asus Zenbook 14 and the one done on the Zenbook Pro 15. Test results confirm that the sweet spot for this device is in the middle. That is also reflected by the price points found online. The thermals are excellent and the laptop never got too warm. And now let's put the core specs side by side for a comparison. The main question that we need to answer is, who is it for? Is it for gamers? Not really, because I tried to run Counter-Strike Global Offensive on this machine. Yes, on ultra settings I got around 90 FPS, the same I got on Dota 2 and League of Legends, but the screen is just too small to fully enjoy a game. So is it then for studies or home usage? Probably not as well, because you see the specs are so powerful that it would basically be like keeping a racehorse in a shed and not really let it run. So who is left? Well, basically it's the creative people, the content creators, the photographers, the designers, the video editors. Because the specs are powerful enough to basically handle your minimum requirements on those tasks when you're on the go and not really at your designated workspace. The battery, which is 70 watt-hours, is a much improved battery on the regular Asus Zenbook 14. When I met the creative people in mind, I mean, just in this example alone, you can see that I have pulled down my RGB color palette on the extended screen. I'm adjusting the image on the main display and I can see still the bars below. Let's face it, you could think of multiple creative ways on how to utilize this extended screen or the applications themselves. To summarize, I can see where Asus is going with this new concept. Having creative people in mind, my verdict is a solid 9 out of 10, deducting points for having a micro SD card instead of a full SD card, and for not having a Thunderbolt 3 port. The price is appealing enough for some of you to consider this type of machine over a used MacBook Pro or even a new MacBook Pro. And as always, if you liked the video, support me by subscribing to the channel, leaving a like on the video, and see you in the next one. Goodbye!